All right, there we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pastrami Nation's Comic Con at Home special. We are excited. It's during the week of San Diego Comic Con, so we want to bring you some fun, awesome, action figure goodness straight to your home. So, my name is Nolan Smith. I'm the editor and co-founder of Pastrami Nation. Joining me is fellow co-founder Jason. Hi, Jason.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
And we have a special guest with us today. We met her at the LA Comic Con last year. She is one of the amazing minds behind the Savage Crucible line. Welcome, Nikki
And
Nikole.
an awesome painter at that.
Thank you.
Your stuff blows me away.
Thank you for having me on. It was
Thanks
great
for
to
being
meet you
here.
guys at LA Comic Con. It was a pretty large show. I think it was the largest one that I've ever been to. So it was,
Awesome.
yeah, great to meet you there.
You guys were one of the highlights for us, for sure.
That's awesome.
Like going into that little corner, and there was all these really cool action figure booths that you really don't find at any other cons. And LA Comic Con usually hasn't they don't really bring the action figure game. So last year was a big surprise, and it is actually our favorite con of the year because of people like you and Savage Crucible in your booth, because that's the kind of stuff we wanted to find, and you can't find it anywhere else. So we were so excited that you guys came to SoCal. And we know life has been probably insane for you guys because Wave 1 rolled out, and Wave 1 has been going extremely well, I imagine. Can you talk to us about the rollout of Wave 1?
Yeah. So with all the waves, of course, Kickstarter backers are going to get their product first. So it's going to be a tiered rollout. So first goes to Kickstarter backers. There's a lot of international folks with that. So there's just going to be a differential in timing of when international backers get theirs, even though they're sent out at the same time. Obviously, it takes longer to travel overseas. So that was our first rollout, was that. And then the pre-order customers get theirs, followed by the pre-sale customers. So it's basically rolled out by when Savage Crucible collected your money and how long Savage Crucible has had your money. And those customers who have given their money earliest are prioritized. So Kickstarter, pre-sale, pre-order. And then after that, there was a lot of cons along the way. There's different teams that are doing fulfillment and conventions. So not to worry when you see people at a con, that doesn't mean they're not shipping your stuff, right? So there were cons along the way. And then there was a in-stock sale, which means whatever's still available after the pre-order and the pre-sale gets put up for immediate in stock and then shipping out shortly thereafter. So it's been a lot. And then to top it all off, there was the surprise drop of the Shadow Slate, which was one of the few surprises that are coming this year. So just to check out that box. And I thought this was very good timing because the original slate, which was offered in the Kickstarter, which is kind of like the bare bones lizard men with the fewest accessories and just like a single color plastic. That proved to be very, very, very popular, and it sold out nearly everywhere. So it was great to almost immediately follow it up with another release of similar nature, but different. And that also proved to be very popular. So right now, there are a few retailers getting their hands on this figure. So definitely check in with retailers. Currently sold out. We already did our Wave 1 in stock, so that is come and gone. And now Wave 2 is up for pre-order. So it's been a savage year with lots happening.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Such savages.
And you mentioned the slate, the original slate, and that's the one that we got to mess around with at LA Comic Con. And
That's
it's the
right,
one that we really experienced, because I remember you showing us all the detail on that, for being the basic figure, and it blows premium figures out of the water for what it had. So when we saw what we saw at LA Comic Con, we were like, wow, this is what we're going to get. And for that price, because the slates are really decently priced.
That articulation alone, geez.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Around $20. And, originally we said it's geared for customizing and army building. But a lot of people, including me, I just have the slates as is on my shelf, just because they're the color of plastic that it's done in has kind of a sparkly. This guy's meditating, by the way. That's why he's in this pose. He's meditating on top of a rock. But they're just, the color is really dynamic. It doesn't look like it's just one color of plastic, and there's paint apps on the eyes and mouth and everything. So I just have them as is on the shelf. Maybe a couple armor swaps here and there, but I got them to customize and I haven't wanted to.
It's beautiful the way it is, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Just something about the basicness of it. And it looks really wow. It's like you get the different shades when you look at that, like you said. It's like,
yeah.
wow, this thing's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. And, a lot of people think they're like, when they first saw them, they're like, oh, it's a black lizard. And when you actually get it out in the sun or a bright light, you can see it's a dark green. And I've seen a few photographers be able to capture that, and it looks great in photos.
If anything, for a customization, I think a simple doing the inside of the mouth like a really neon blue, like some skinks, that would be bad.
Yeah, I'm totally into that. Blue tongue skink is like one of my favorite lizards. So yeah, I have a couple of customs in mind, using some other figures that I'm going to do that with.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. No, and I see like toy photographers and reviewers and whatnot going crazy over it, because just the poses you can get out of these figures. And then of course, like you said, the customization, the pop and swaps with the armor. I haven't heard really a bad thing about the first wave, which we've collected action figures for a very long time. That's kind of unheard of, but it's been very positive. So congrats to you and and your team for a really well executed launch of an action figure line. I know that's no easy feat.
Thanks. Yeah, it's it was a lot of pre-work before the Kickstarter went up, and that was the sculptors and Rob and everybody putting in a lot of time and money far in advance of the Kickstarter. And I think that really contributed to the timeline and success of the project, because you don't always see that, and it is challenging. There's so many different challenges that come up along the way, and it's shark infested waters with dealing with all the challenges that can come up with producing something in a country that's not your own. You can't just pop down and check things out and see how it's going. So
you just go fly overseas real quick. And...
Yep. Not super simple. So, and that's a world that I don't know a lot about, like all the ins and outs of factory production and everything, but there are many layers to it. And it's kind of, I think of Rob as kind of like he's like the conductor, and everybody else is the members of the symphony, and he's really good at getting the best out of everybody.
Nice. Get all those moving pieces to work in sync.
Exactly.
Very nice.
That's awesome. I see we have some comments. I just want to name drop some people. Let's see. Rob Zamora said, "Heyo."
Hey, Rob. The other Rob.
And then Strupp Family Crafts says, "Hey." And Arturo, longtime listener to Pastrami, Arturo Garcia says, "Hey guys." And then Strupp Family Crafts says, "Only going to get better from here too."
And Strupp Family Crafts do those awesome like capes and tunics and stuff.
Yes, they do amazing soft good work. Yeah. So. Yes,
that's fantastic. And I like how he said it's only going to get better from here, because we know Wave 2 is literally around the corner. It's up for pre-order right now, and it's a very different looking wave than Wave 1.
Very different. Yep.
Wave 1 had all the lizard men, and in here we get more of like the barbarians. And
yes.
Happy birthday, Nikki. By the way, happy. I know it was yesterday, right?
Yes.
There we go. Yeah, and Marcel says it too. Yeah, happy birthday.
Thanks.
So
I celebrate all.
Wave 2.
Yeah, absolutely. So Wave 1, yes, the initial rollout for the Kickstarter, the wave structure was done in that way in order to minimize the timeline. So it made sense to group all of the same or similar body types together with each of the waves. Going forward, there's going to be a little bit more variance with that. And as Sean alluded to, yes, it is only going to get better, because it's a learning curve for anybody, and small adjustments are made every every figure that gets released, small adjustments, small improvements, always. You can never let yourself get stagnant with that. So wave 2, yes, humans. There are, let's see, 2 character packs with this wave, and you can see everything that's available for pre-order now at savagecrucible.com. So 2 character packs for part swapping goodness. And then there is Nashorn the Disinherited, which is a, I think the only character that does not have an unmasked head sculpt. And that adds to the mystery of that particular character. We have Human, which I think during the Kickstarter, there was a few people that thought that was like a pun or a play on words for like referencing He-Man, and it was definitely not. So if you have read the graphic novel, you will know how that character got his name. Has nothing to do with He-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then there is Krieger the Shunned. Krieger the Shunned. It's a mouthful.
Say that 5 times really fast.
Yeah. Classic barbarian character. He has a helmed and unhelmed head sculpts. And then let's see, who am I forgetting? Of course, the officially licensed Frazetta character. So first Frazetta character that Savage Crucible will be offering. There are many more to come. And this is licensed through the Frazetta Art Museum. And that is Warrior with Ball and Chain. So that's named after the painting from Frank Frazetta.
That's the one I pre-ordered on Kickstarter. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I was like, man, that looks amazing.
The box on that particular character is going to be a little bit different than the rest of the wave because they really wanted to feature, like, have it artwork forward. So the entire front panel, instead of, on the named characters, there's a flap on the front. You open it, you can see the window. So, and there's like branding, Savage Crucible, and everything on that front flap. For the Frazetta character, the entire front panel is just the painting. And then you open it up and you can see the character. So you're really going to have a nice, just the box itself is going to be a cool display piece with that. And then the final character, unless I'm forgetting somebody, is Jaeger. So that is probably the most different character of Wave 2 from the others in that offering. And he is a shapeshifter character. The race is called Therian. And each Therian, the way I understand it, is each Therian will have a beast affinity to a particular animal. And there's a range of shape-shifting that they can perform based on how powerful they are. So some Therians can go fully into an animal form, while others just have certain traits that they can shapeshift into. And he's more of a ranger or a rogue type layout to his armor and clothing choice. So that should make for some really cool combinations once you start, if you're interested in part swapping.
Oh, yeah. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
My God, I got like tackle boxes of different parts and I forget which ones they actually went to.
Exactly. I have a whole, because I had all these, well-organized bins of other lines and 3D parts and everything. I had to create a whole new system when I got Savage Crucible.
Yeah.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
And I see Rob Zamora put, Savage Crucible is the only line that I collect that I've ever gone all in on.
Wow.
That's got to feel really good, right? That because it's a very competitive field. Like there's everybody vying for your attention when it comes to high quality action figures. So thank you, Rob, for saying that because that's great.
That is awesome.
And you got to love the community, like the Facebook group, the Savage Crucible group. Just everybody's so awesome in there. Like when their boxes, just the excitement you see when that the box, by the way, the shipping box was badass. And people, they were like, it came. And the one guy, he posted, my Amazon box let me know that something better was here. Because you know how they take a picture of your Amazon package and you see the Savage Crucible one further back by the door.
Yeah, I love that artwork on the box. That's by Tony Mitty. And you guys saw when you came to the booth at LA Comic Con, that artwork is very prominently featured. The crest designs, behind everything. at the booth, and it's really cool.
It stands out. It pulls you into the booth. If you haven't seen a Savage Crucible booth yet at a con, like you're in for a treat. Like you'll just walk by and just get sucked in because like it's eons above usually the other booths around it. So now I love that shipper box. I have one behind me. It's fantastic, but it makes it really hard to not want to get rid of the box, right? And that's a collector's problem. And when you mentioned the Frazetta box, like so many of us are looking for ways to get rid of our packages, and you're like, this package is going to be amazing, and we're like, oh, well, we can't get rid of that one then.
Exactly,
it's a good problem. It's a really good one.
I have a couple extra all-ins that I saved for posterity. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but they're on that shipping box. And then I had like 3 empty boxes, and I couldn't get rid of them. So they're currently in my my empty box collection in the garage.
Nice.
We'll see if
I got one of those too. It's getting a little out of hand over there.
Yeah.
But we'll worry about that a different day.
Oh, we got another comment from Strupp. Nikki Brenda says, hi, with more excitement than I'm able to type.
Awesome.
Yes.
I love it. Thank you. Hello.
Oh, that's awesome. Now we know Wave 2 is up for pre-order. We know Wave 3 is coming because Wave 3 is in the Kickstarter.
Yes.
Can you kind of allude a little bit to people who may not know about Wave 3 and what it entails? Because it's also a radically different wave, which I know some people are waiting very impatiently for.
Yes. Wave 3 is a personal favorite of mine. I'm probably most into Wave 1 and Wave 3, but I'm also very excited about Wave 2, let's be honest. So Wave 2 is humans and the werewolf type character. And Wave 3 is the Abyss wave. So that is 3 different Piranoid characters or fishmen. D&D, they would have been called Kuatoa, that kind of race, fishman race. And all of those fishmen come with very different armor. So one is wearing like a crayfish crustacean type armor. One is wearing a seaweed type armor. And then the other is wearing like a metal alloy type armor. All different colors, all different head sculpts. They come with alternate heads. So just a lot of variety there. And then kind of the capstone of the wave is the Harbinger of the Abyss. So he is a Cthulhu-esque type character or Mind Flayer, similar to a Mind Flayer type character. And he is one of the main villains in Savage Crucible with a pretty complex backstory. So you get a little bit of his story just hinting in the first graphic novel. And then he will be kind of the capstone of that wave.
I can't wait. Impatiently waiting is hardly the word.
Yeah.
I need my fishman, damn it.
Yes, exactly. And they'll be, I would say, as far as creature design, Wave 1 and Wave 3 are going to be the most similar, even though they're, completely different sculpts and everything, but they're the most similar as far as just creature design, from a creature design standpoint. I think Wave 2 is going to be the most, distinguished of those 2 offerings. Yeah.
I can't wait. And they'll be coming out next year, I believe.
Yeah. So our timeline currently is Wave 2. It's up for pre-order now through August 16th. And then that is estimated to be shipping from the factory in Q4 of 2024. And then Wave 3 will be coming in 2025. And we'll get more specific with that timeline once, Wave 2 ships, it's in people's hands. Then we'll can hone in on, focusing on Wave 3. And of course,
on those fishmen.
Yep. And of course, there will be more surprises along the way.
Oh my God.
And I can't wait for that.
Imagine as far as all the different possibilities, as far as something like a fishman,
Mm-hmm. So many possibilities. Everybody has their favorite fish, and all the different color combinations alone is just staggering.
And fish patterns are so bright, like
yeah.
Yeah.
And
You're walking
people
to like an aquarium or something. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. people have done some amazing customs with the lizardmen. You were mentioning a Gila monster earlier, and Simon from the UK, I believe, did an amazing Gila custom with.
I seen that one. Yes, that was badass.
Really great.
I would like to see somebody do a coral snake, like with the red and yellow.
Oh yeah, yep.
Oh my god,
so good.
I should do one. I've dabbled into the customizing world slightly. I'm nowhere near your level, but yeah, your customs, like, my goodness, I saw it was those heads you did for what, Planetary Dog, I think.
Oh yeah, mm-hmm.
That snarling tiger, like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, wow. He's actually behind me right here on the gladiator shelf.
Yes.
So
my goodness.
One of my favorites.
When did you get into, like, decide that I'm going to be a master painter, or did it just happen? Because you are indeed a master painter.
Well, thank you. When I started, I definitely was not. I had done some mini paintings back in the day. I do have an art background, but I hadn't really done anything as my separate career got started in the sciences and that kind of thing, and conservation. So it had been a very long time. And then the very first Mythic Legions Kickstarter happened, and that wave 1 was delivering. And I had spent like a year figuring out, I learned that this was a part swapping wave, and I was super excited to just make my own characters. And so I had spent a year just sketching out designs and planning things. And I'm like, I really want to paint these things. I have no idea what type of paint to use or anything for an action figure. So I just researched online and found out just basic customizing, how to do it and get a good start. So I started, and, looking back, I see some of the first pieces I did. I'm like, oh, those were not great. But over time, you just have to start, and you just have to practice, and you will get better.
What is your preferred paint? Do you go Citadel or Vallejo, or is there a certain?
Yeah, variety. I definitely started with Vallejo and Citadel. And then over time, my paint collection has grown. It's like a whole separate collection. And I've definitely expanded into some European brands, especially for the metallics and things like that. So
very nice.
I'm always trying to try new things. I'm keeping an eye on the latest and greatest as far as paint news and things like that, of stuff to try. There was a whole thing about contrast paints. So I started trying those, and now there's metallic speed paints and all kinds of stuff to experiment with.
Oh my God. Yeah. Endless possibilities.
Yes, definitely.
I remember I first dabbled with customizing back when McFarlane did like sports and custom sport figures, and that was easy. I was using Apple Barrel, that kind of shit, craft store paint, but it worked because those didn't move. They were stuck in a pose. Once you try that on an action figure, it's just a disaster because that's when you learn that this crap doesn't work for joints and stuff like this.
Exactly. Yep.
And there's a reason it's $199.
Yeah. And then there's just the whole aspect of, okay, do I want to be able to pose this figure? Okay, what does that entail? I did some experimentation with dyeing figures and getting the joints to be a different color so that you don't have to worry about dremeling things down so that joint clears and doesn't scrape off the paint.
Because you could ruin the integrity of the joint that way.
You can, but you can also ruin it by dyeing it, because it's really like you're using a ton of heat and chemicals to dye this figure. So it's not a perfect solution for sure.
Have you tried ink?
I haven't. I know some people have, just to using a Sharpie or whatever. Yeah.
It won't like you're not going to change something dark to light, but I've seen a guy do the Masterverse Battle Cat into a darker green, more realistic, and it looked badass. Oh. And he just dyed it with ink,
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so many different approaches to get to a certain goal.
And I've seen your reindeers for, what is it, Memory Toys?
That is, yes, that's for Fresh Monkey Fiction.
Oh, Fresh Monkey, yeah.
Yeah.
I have all those pre-ordered.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I do too. And my is pretty cute because my mom, I always show my mom what I'm working on, and she wanted a couple reindeer because she really likes reindeer. So I have some pre-ordered for her too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but I really like their holiday collection. There's some good stuff. I picked up some of the Santas they did, and then being able to work on the reindeer stuff was a really great project.
You heard what some of the internet memers, you know how there was that zombie Santa Claus?
Oh yeah.
They were like, wow, we get a Gremlins one figure of Kate's dad. Remember they pulled him out of the chimney?
Oh boy.
They don't miss a trick.
That's rough. That part disturbed me when I was a kid. So
yeah, same here.
That one hits home.
He's like, ever since then, I stopped believing in Santa Claus. I'm like, oh my God, why'd you do that, Gremlins?
Oh man, we do have some questions here. Will the novel get a reissue or re-release?
Currently, the original graphic novel is still available in physical form at conventions. It was the digital download was recently taken off the website. I do not know. I'm sure that will, make a return at some point. Right now, the focus is on Wave 2 pre-order. So I'm sure that will make a return at some point. I think the physical copies are limited. So if you can go to a con or get a buddy to grab one for you from the convention. And not Wave 2. The second issue of the graphic novel is on the horizon, coming soon. And the feature character or the focus of that issue will be on Jaeger, who's that werewolf type shapeshifter. So that should be pretty cool. I'm excited to read more about him.
Nice.
That's great. We look forward to that. We got a question. How many Wave 3 slates will there be?
There is a Wave 3 slate, one Wave 3 slate currently. There is a Wave 3 Savage. So sorry, I did not mention that when I was talking about Wave 3. And they both have, I think, my favorite Piranoid head sculpts of the line. So if you go to the Kickstarter page, you can see the illustrated renderings of all those characters. And it's a really cool head. It's like it looks like a toadfish, or just very reminiscent of both like an amphibian and a fish. So I really like that. And when he has an articulated jaw. So when you open his mouth, he has all these crazy teeth sticking out. Yeah.
Yes, that's cool.
Wave 3 slate. Unclear at this point. We did the surprise drop, obviously, of the Shadow slate. I don't really consider this isn't technically part of Wave 1. So we do have our lineup for Wave 3 already set. And in the future, if there's a Piranoid slate, that is definitely a possibility, but not something that is in concrete.
Nice.
Right now. Yeah.
Got it. No problem. I got a question. Any plans on getting Savage into more retailers?
So the original Savage, that was just as popular as the original slate. And we have said that we will not be doing reissues. So what is out there is what is out there. Those two figures sold out very quickly from ourselves and retailers. They are still available from the conventions for the rest of 2024. So that is one possibility of how to get that. There's an allotment for each convention for each day of the convention. So if you get there early, you can get a shot at an original slate or original Savage. There might be reimaginings of characters as we go along. So something might, have a slightly different deco. Something might have a slightly different loadout, but it will never be a straight reissue.
Nice. Once he's gone, he's gone.
Yep.
I like that.
Yeah. And that's, Rob's talked about a couple times, it is a balance, right? There's going to be new people coming to the line that are going to want the old stuff, but he does feel it's important to honor, the collectability of the line and to respect the collectors that did get in early with that.
The guys that were there from day one.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's a good point of view. I agree.
Yeah.
Let's see. We have Brick Something said, "Hi all, looking forward to the deer and goat from that line from the Fresh Monkey Fiction
Oh yeah.
line. Those
That
look
goat,
pretty
my
cool."
God.
As a matter of fact, I just finished the paint master for the goat demon and rotten hoof. So haven't shown pictures yet, but it was super fun to work on.
How cool.
Now, when you finish a paint master, you have to send it off then to the factory, yes?
Yeah. Sometimes I will ship it direct, depending on the timeline. Sometimes it's a rush project and you're like, get it out here.
Nice.
And other times I can just send it to the project manager or the owner of the line, or, there's different scenarios. And then they can compile some different things and send other things to the factory as well.
Talk about a dream job. Wow.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun for sure.
I bet.
Challenging though, also. Like I challenged myself when I was customizing, but not to the level I've been challenged with doing paint masters. So it's been a little bit stressful at times, but definitely very satisfying.
I'd say you've mastered it.
Thank you. Still definitely learning. There's so much to learn. So.
Oh, your skull, your dwarf skull with the crystal oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fun project.
That was cool.
Thanks.
Let's see. Renato said, "Hey there." And then we had a question about, are you guys going to LACC this year?
Yes. We will be there. It's in December again, isn't it?
I think it's either November. I think it's November. Yeah.
Okay, November. Or maybe
I always get that and DesignerCon mixed up. One's in October, one's in November.
Yeah, let me look it up real quick. Yes, Savage Crucible will be there. The whole con schedule for 2024 is posted on the front page of the website. So you can check that out there. And then 2025 schedule is being formed now. If people have any solid suggestions for really, really, really good toy shows in your area, definitely reach out to us.
Any of them in California that are drivable to us.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly. Okay, so LA Comic Con is October 4th through 6th.
It's really early this time. Wow.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to do DesignerCon as well, or?
No, it's just, so let's see. Finishing out this year, they just did Retro Expo in Dallas. So next up is ZolaCon in Pennsylvania, August 17th to 18th. There's Joe Lanta in Georgia, September 27th to 29th. And Chicago Toy Show in October. And then LA Comic Con in October. And Retro Toy Convention in South Carolina in November.
Are you guys doing Legion's Con over in Jersey?
No.
No? Bummer.
No on Legion's Con.
Yeah, but you're doing LA Comic Con, and
Yes.
we're in California, so I'm thrilled. Yeah.
Yeah. And the goal with the conventions is there will be a few core, probably 3 core conventions that they always go to every year. And then the rest will be on a rotational basis with the goal of trying to get to different parts of the country. Because it is a bummer. It is a bummer. I was in California forever, and it was a bummer to have to fly all the way to the East Coast for a show, So it's nice when something comes in your neck of the woods, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, that's great news. Thank you for sharing that con schedule. And like Nikki said, it's up on the website for Savage Crucible, so you can check out the schedule, get tickets because you don't want to miss their booth, because it's a sight for sure. Going through the comments real quick, making sure I didn't miss anything. One more question, but I think you kind of already answered it about somebody said, will Wave 1 be available anywhere online again? But it's kind of that it was produced and it's out there, and some retailers.
Yeah.
Right?
It's been, so it was, we had, let's go through the timeline of Wave 1. So the Kickstarter was up for approximately 2 months. Then there were several months of pre-order for that wave. And then there was a few months of pre-sale for that wave. And then it went to an in-stock sale. And now Wave 1 is just in the hands of retailers. So yes, the regular slate, the regular Savage are sold out from all of the retailers, I believe. Other figures from Wave 1 are still available from retailers, and then you can find them at the conventions. But yeah, unless there's always a future possibility of like a odds and ends sale if there happen to be extra laying around in the warehouse or something like that. But that's pretty much the life cycle of that wave.
Nice.
Very good. Thank you. All right. Well, we are nearing the end, but I do have a question for you, not Savage Crucible, but just like as an action figure collector. What are your favorite lines right now that you're collecting?
Yeah. So let's see. Classified is a mainstay right now. I let TMNT, which was an amalgamation of different companies, right, to put together my TMNT collection. I let that kind of be completed.
Yeah.
I feel really good about where that collection's at. Predator is like one of the very first things I started collecting. And that obviously has slowed down as NECA has, they shift a lot of their focus to TMNT and very little attention to Predator lately, sadly, but probably also good for my wallet. So Predator collection is I would say like near complete. And, if NECA puts out like a figure a year, I'll probably get it, right? I'm really hopeful that they will show something new for San Diego Comic-Con. Really, really hopeful. It's been several San Diego Comic-Cons and several New York toy shows without any Predator announcements, so I'm a little sad about that. But so yeah, TMNT, Predator. I stopped collecting Black Series. I just was not happy with the way that line was going, and just wasn't fun, and there was not a lot of joy in it anymore. So I sold all of that except for the Clone Wars era figures. So just have a very small Black Series collection, but not getting anything new. And then of course I have like fantasy. So this whole collection behind me right now is a combination of Savage Crucible, Zestray, Mythic Legions, Axie Toys, D20 Studios. So that's all like the same world to me.
Yeah, they're all in that realm.
And I have, I forget, I think it was Palladium Books back in the day when I was growing up, put out like a historical armor book that I really gravitated to when I was a kid. And I learned all about different types of armor and different types of weapons and things like that. And so I'm kind of trying to recreate some of that here. So, gladiators, Romans, knights, things like that. A little bit more historical on this side and a little bit more fantasy on this side.
They kind of mesh in between, yeah?
Yeah. There's some crossover, of course. But
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
And awesome. What are you guys collecting right now?
Oh, us, what don't we collect, really?
Okay.
No. Same like you, like fantasy, of course. That's like if it's cool and it's something like those the big Minotaur guys, is that Ezra?
Yeah.
They just do some, and then Savage and Mythic Legions. I just started messing with. I finally opened this guy. That's the
the
figure obscura Anubis. I'm sitting there like a dumbass because I'm like, look at this staff. It's like it was his tail. It's like it comes packaged separately, and I'm sitting there like,
why is it so bendy?
Yeah, I thought it was like a cobra or something. I'm like, oh, I saw this online too. I'm smarter than that. And I buy some of the WWE, like the Ultimate Edition, like the wrestlers.
Okay.
From Mattel, the Ultimates, they have just like stepped their game up big time. Like it looks just like the person, and it comes with like 3 different heads. It's like, I mean, and for $30, whereas opposed to you're paying for like $100 for like a Mafex or a Figure Arts that might come with like 1 more head.
Yep.
And I'm a big dinosaur guy. That's like my first love is like, as you can see behind me, just dinosaur.
Oh yeah.
Big saber-toothed cats, Zabu
awesome.
from Marvel Legends.
Yep, that's I love that collection. That shelf right behind you, that's great.
The tigers.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Reborn. I don't know if you're familiar with Reborn dinosaurs.
I'm not.
Oh my God, they're like they don't move. They're like Papo or Schleich, but really fine detailed. And they did saber-toothed tigers like Smilodons, and they did 4 different versions. And I only have 2 so far. I have the tiger, and I have the one that was painted like Battle Cat. But it's like,
that's cool.
Dinosaur, like Primal Rage. Do you know what Primal Rage is?
Yes.
The video game?
Yes.
Yes, you're all right.
It's Jason's favorite thing in the world.
Like, I still remember Blizzard's fatality. Like,
Oh man.
I could sit there and go to an arcade game and finish it, and they're like, "You dork." Well, Freeboard did a big gorilla, and they did one of them as Blizzard's colorway. I think it's still on Big Bad, but they call him something else. But he's blue and white, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" Sold.
Cool. Are you going to pick up the new Creative Beast Sabretooth? Have you seen that?
The black one,
amazing.
On pre-order now. That guy's such a cool guy, David Silva.
We've had David Silva on the podcast before. He's fantastic.
Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, they're putting out some great stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I have a bunch of those over there in a different tote because they're big and they take up space, like, and they're heavy. Like they're awesome. Yeah. Like his Ceratops wave.
I got a couple of them right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I need that one. I need that one.
So cool. I mean, this took an incredible amount of restraint not to fill my shelves with Dave Silva's stuff.
Yes. He's such an awesome guy too. But
yes,
once he started, and did you see the mammoth? He shows the drawing, the mock-up for the big mammoth, but he shows a prototype of the baby mammoth.
Yes, I know they're going to be 1/18th scale. I just want to know what that translates to in like final size. So, I mean,
I'll take it.
Like this, for example, this is, it's a completely different scale. However, the actual size works out to be a perfect for like amount for the Lemurian, whatever. Mm-hmm. So that's what
definitely. And the Battle Cat saddle fits on that guy, I think.
Oh, okay.
I have the other one with I forget the name, but it's the one that's more of a green pattern color, and he has the one single horn like a Styracosaurus, but he's bigger.
Nice. Yeah, there were some that were bigger than that.
Yes. The adult Triceratops.
Yes.
Oh my god, where would I put that?
Exactly. We will face this question as we go into the next HasLab.
Real world struggles. Right. HasLab. No, you gotta be shitting me. HasLab.
Yep.
That'll be fun. Yeah. Looking forward to that.
Well, even those like Hammond collection Jurassic Parks, like the T-Rex is huge. Like he's 1/18th scale, but this sucker takes up some shelf space.
Yeah. It's a good thing they didn't have that stuff when I was a kid because it would have been nuts.
Yeah. Well, they could have had it when I was a kid, but my dad was cheap, so I would have been looking at it at the store, I think that's why I buy so much shit nowadays. It's like, make up for
lost time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, I see Renato put a comment that I couldn't agree with more. We need Primal Rage, Killer Instinct, and Clay Fighters. We're getting Clay Fighters from Premium DNA.
That's right.
Agreed completely on Primal Rage and Killer Instinct.
Primal Rage, oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I've been dragged to arcades with you throughout my childhood as you played Primal Rage.
I found it in Vegas when I was like 27. And we went down. It was back when some of them still had the whole arcade floor on the lower level. My brother's like, "What are we doing?" I was like, "I know it's here." And boom, there's Primal Rage. The year was like 2005. And here I am finishing this game, and they're watching me, and they're like, "You dork." Because this game came out in 94. And I still remembered all the fatalities.
You knew everything.
I was a nerd growing up, so
you remember the important stuff.
Same.
Like Primal Rage. And for me, action figures right now, I'm a big Ultraman fan, so Bandai put out some pretty cool kind of like their anime heroes, but for Ultraman.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So those are pretty cool. I picked up the wave of that. Loyal subjects are always fun. I like picking up their turtles. And the Jenica one is the most recent one, and it's a lot of fun. And then of course Mezco. I've been a fan of Mezco since they released that Dark Knight, that first ever Mezco 112. The most recent is the Ninja Turtle one, and
right,
amazing box set. But I mean, can't buy everything, but we try to make room for what really stands out.
It's definitely a game of choices at this point, and there's definitely not a lack of product, so it's all about priorities and timing, and
and it all seems to hit at once.
Yes,
notice that?
Yes,
it's like damn.
Exactly.
before you know it, that Dick Tracy 2-pack from Mezco is going to hit, and I'm going to be like, "Damn!"
Oh, man.
Right before
I was
con.
just finding like new GI Joe and He-Man and Wrestlers, and all of a sudden, NECA announces like NECA Con at Walmart, you know, and they were getting all those Walmart
Yep.
these
Yeah.
little shits,
Ah,
the little
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
with the Halloween mask. They're really cool. I use them for like background diorama, like a trick or treater or something.
that's cool. I like
No,
that.
that's awesome. Well, I think we're about ready to wrap it up. Do you have anything you'd like to close with, Nikki? I know we talked about the con schedule. We talked about wave 2 and 3, but anything else you'd like to share?
Do you have a
Um,
dream figure line? Like, is there something you want like an action
Ooh.
figure of that is not out there? I know Primal Rage, right?
Primal Rage. I really want. I think D20 show, or what are they called? Fish Toys now. I think they teased and showed a Griffin, but for a long
Yes.
time I wanted a really well done Griffin.
There is. It's on 5ktoys.com, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll
Yeah.
see.
So you're a fan of the big mounts that aren't horses, huh?
I have a lot of horses. But yeah, I think another dream figure would be a Kieran. I don't know if you know what that is. It's a mythical beast, and it's kind of like it's a different version of it's the Eastern version of a unicorn, and it's kind of a horse shape with a scaled body, and then the front quarters are fur, and it has kind of a dragon-esque head, but covered in fur. But you'll have to look it up because I'm doing a terrible job explaining
it. Sounds awesome.
But a Kieran would be really, really cool.
Oh my god! Especially with the way some of these guys are putting out figures nowadays, it's like that would be badass.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a war elephant, like just a fully articulated
300
war elephant.
That'd be awesome.
My wallet wouldn't appreciate it, but hey.
Right.
Right. Awesome. Well, Nikki, thank you for joining us on our Comic-Con at Home special. We really appreciate you coming to talk about, all things, pop culture, but especially Savage Crucible. Thank you so much. I know your time is precious, so thank you for joining us. And thank you for everybody who's been tuning in and commenting. We really appreciate it. And yeah, look for more, updates on Savage Crucible. As we see them pop up, we'll put them on pastramination.com. And again, thank you so much. We really do appreciate your time.
All right. Thanks for having me on, and thanks for everybody to join.
All right, everybody. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.